Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, home of the #1 independent wrestling coverage, available on iTunes, Stitcher, blogtalk Radio, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net and join the revolution now.
Welcome to WH Radio. It's me, Oscar. Joining me now, I got my man, Tom. What's going on, Tom?
Not much, man. Not much. Still some good weather, warm weather over here on the East Coast. I know you guys are having some up and down weather, so hope it's good weather all around. But I know in the world,
it's crazy. You guys know it's crazy because Oscar said it was rumored to be an earthquake over here.
I never said it was supposedly. I said you got to read the message. Supposedly.
When today?
Well, yeah, there's.
Yeah, that's why I said rumored. Like it was rumored to be earthquake down here in Los Angeles, but
yeah, 9.0 supposedly. Yeah.
Thank God it happened.
But anyways, I'm ready for Triple Threat Wednesday Night War, so I got to get my juice ready.
You know what? Speaking of the juice, let's call the juice. How about that?
Why not?
Let's call the juice. JT Dunn is our special guest here today on WH Radio. Let's go ahead and give him a call. Hold on a minute, gentlemen and ladies out there listening. The Juice, JT Dunn. It's good to have him back here on WH Radio.
Yeah, it was great. It was pretty cool when we had him on last time.
All right, here we go. Call him.
Hello?
Hello, this is the Juice, JT Dunn.
This is him.
What's going on, man? Welcome back to WH Radio. How you been, man?
I'm great, man. How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. It's good to have you back on, man. And it's been a while. I think the last time we saw you and got to actually talk to you, it was actually in person. You came to visit PWG. Me and my buddy Oscar, we got to meet you there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mystery Vortex.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy because Mystery Vortex is coming up. What if JT Dunn's one of those mystery guys in Mystery Vortex?
I think a lot of people would be happy then.
Yeah, they will be. I gotta mention this to our listeners. They don't know this, but if you guys remember Mystery Vortex, Adam Cole did an open challenge. And I try to start a JT Dunn chant. I just want to see what will happen, but
hey man, people started chanting with you. It got a little bit out there.
I was trying to start a JT Dunn chant, but Candice LeRae came out, so oh well.
Yeah, man. Today here on the show, for those listeners, we'll be talking with JT Dunn about most of his up-and-coming matches. And I'm pretty sure we have some other questions that we had written down that we actually want to ask you. Because I know you have plenty of shows booked right now. Like, it's crazy. It's like...
yeah. This is probably the busiest I've ever been with the most high-profile stuff every weekend, which is great. I love it.
Yes. Speaking of matches, tomorrow you're actually booked against Andrew Everett.
No, that's Saturday. Tomorrow I'm in Jamaica, Queens, New York, and for House of Glory Wrestling, and I'm wrestling Amazing Red and Brian XL's star student in Ken Broadway.
Yeah, talk to us about the match with Andrew Everett, because we actually just saw him the other day. Him and Trevor Lee win tag titles, and he's been on fire, and you have too. Let's talk about that match.
Yeah, absolutely. That's this Saturday in Cranston, Rhode Island for Extreme Wrestling Alliance. It's funny, too, I just wrestled Trevor Lee for the first time about 2 weeks ago, and I knew I had this match coming up with Everett, and I was really excited, especially now that he looks better than ever after his injury. But I remember when I was at Mystery Vortex, he made his debut there, and I was blown away by everything that he did. So I'm really looking forward to getting in there, and our contrast of styles. He's so high-flying and can do all this crazy acrobatic stuff, and I'm just a fighter. So I'm interested to throw down with him and see what happens. And it's at home for me. Like, I was born and raised in Cranston, so it's cool to go back home. And since XWA has been running in Cranston, I've had some pretty high-profile matches there with like AR Fox, and last show I just wrestled with Carlito, so I thought that was really cool.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, Carlito, as we all know, in the WWE, former IC champ over there. But yeah, man, you and Ever, I'm like pretty sure both of you guys will clash and have a great match. I'm calling probably match of the night, even though I want.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of stuff there, though. That's crazy. Everybody's gonna be working so hard to put on their best performance for the crowd. It's gonna be one of them shows that if you can get to it, because everybody's already hyped up. Samoa Joe is there. They have the Killology weekend with House of Glory, XWA, and then Beyond Wrestling for all 3 nights in a row. He wrestles the Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson.
Yeah, that's gonna be nuts too. I actually have a friend that's gonna be at the Beyond show.
Cool.
That's gonna get to see that main event with Chris and Samoa Joe. And also, I didn't want to skip to the match that you guys were having Sunday. Let's actually get back to that, because my co-host, okay. I'm pretty sure these guys. Go ahead, Oscar.
All right. Well, actually, I want to go a little bit off topic here. I don't want to say this is a rumor I heard about you, but there's people speculating that this can happen. But I know in August you're booked in California for AWS.
Yeah, I'll be making my debut there.
In California, yeah. It's a good promotion. There's a lot of guys that wrestle there, like Drake Younger, Daniel Bryan, Super Dragon. The list goes on and on. Great. But the funny part is the speculation is that there is some talks I saw some tweets, maybe like from a few people, that they're wondering if it's possible that the reason why you took that booking is possible that you're going to also be part of PWG Bola, which is a 3-night event. And they're probably saying, and then they're saying that maybe he has nothing to do Saturday. That's why he's taking that booking. And Friday night, the night before, he'll probably be in PWG. Is there anything you want to comment on about that?
I have no information to provide you at this point. If there was anything, I would let you know. I'd let everybody know. But there's nothing at this point. As of right now, I'm just going out there for AWS.
All right, cool. I just want to know, because last year's Bola, you got all these names popping out like this music, AJ Styles. We're like, what the fuck? So your name is one my top of a list. I hope you can pop out, and the Samoa Joe is on my list as well. So I'm just hoping, I'm just crossing my fingers. So let's just see both of those names pop up.
That'd be great, man.
Your former tag team partner, David Starr. Fuck it. I'm just hoping for those names. And, yeah, let's just see. I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope. So, Yeah. Hope we'll see you there to see them. Or
Real
meet
quick,
the next show.
I actually have a question about AWS. Are you do you know who you're booked going against yet?
No, as of right now, I don't. And hopefully, if they have a couple more shows to have before I make my debut in August, so hopefully along the line something will set itself in place and it'll be announced.
Are you
I don't know.
like? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say something's telling me you're gonna get a title shot already against Willie Mack. So he's the champion there. So I guess
I see he's wrestling one of my mentors, Paul London, this month. I just thought, or next month, I believe.
Or you know what? Paul London. It looks like he's gonna be a regular there. So maybe Paul London. That could be another good opponent for you. So.
Yeah, I've had a great series of matches with Paul. I think we just had our 7th match together in the course of a year, which is really cool, man, because Paul's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, are you like familiar with the AWS roster? Like where you
for the most part, yeah. I watch a lot of wrestling, and I have a lot of friends that are out there, so their name pops up there a lot, and I've been following the promotion on social media and everything, so I got a glimpse of what goes down there.
Is there like somebody part of that roster like that wrestles regularly at AWS that you would probably like to clash with?
Man, I would love to throw down with Willie Mack. I met Willie for the first time when I was out there in LA. And I think we did a Santino Brothers school show, and I got to hang with Willie, and it was cool, man, and I've always been a fan of his work, so it'd be great to be out there and get a chance to work with him, seeing as how he's primarily based out of California. And I would love to get in there with B-Boy. I've known B-Boy for a while, and we've asked the wrestling world for a match against each other for a long time, and that'd be cool to get it out there. Those are definitely two of the top guys off the top of my head.
Definitely. Tom, I'm pretty sure you have a question that you want to ask JT. Go for it, man.
Yeah, one of the things I was most curious about that you've been doing, JT, was the split up of the Juicy product, because you guys, claimed a lot of success. Former CZW tag champs, former FIP tag team champions, WSU tag team champions, New York Wrestling Connections tag team champions. I mean, and then those were simultaneously. Was the breakup of the Juicy product something that was premature, or did you guys kind of think that it was the right time, that there wasn't much more going with the Juicy product?
Well, I think it was a mixture of a few things. I had the opportunity to work with Chris Hero, and he was returning to Beyond Wrestling, and I was kind of put in a situation where I could be mentored by him and learn a lot. And I'm always about learning. I'm always about bettering myself and bettering those around me by taking what I do to the next level. And so being paired off with Hero was something, it was literally a dream, and it was something I couldn't pass up. So that definitely played a role into it. And it wasn't really based on anything that people would perceive as a storyline or anything like that. Like when we broke up. We didn't remain friends. We didn't talk. It wasn't just like an out of nowhere thing. It was building up, I would say, primarily with inside me to really get away from it. It was getting a very negative stigma, and I had worked too hard getting to that point individually that I couldn't let another person's controversies and demons take me down with them. And it wasn't like I abandoned ship, because I tried for a very long time to steer it in the right direction. And then it just, well, as you see now, it kind of went down. And then we actually wrestled each other for Beyond Wrestling last month, and it was the second time ever against each other. And it was one of them things where everything was hurt a little bit more because it was coming from each other. But personally, I believe that we could go in there do whatever we needed to do and leave all of our emotions in the ring, good or bad. It would end there. And I thought I had, like, smartened him up a little bit in front of everybody. I figured putting him on the spot in front of a crowd and kind of calling him out on everything would get his head on straight, and it didn't. And a couple weeks ago, everybody saw my return to Combat Zone Wrestling, and I kind of made a statement, and now it's kind of spiraling away.
You know,
Go ahead.
I was say that super kick I saw you with when you kicked David Starr, that super kick. I don't know why, but when I saw that, even though, well, actually, it did kind of remind me of the Rockers breakup. You're Shawn Michaels, he was Marty Jannetty. Instead of break him through, but it just reminded me of that. Back in the day, I was like, whoa, I see some Shawn Michaels right there, you know?
Now you talked about now you're teaming with Chris Hero, obviously properly named Death by Elbow. How has it been working with Chris Hero, somebody like him who's a veteran of the business, who has been everywhere and anywhere, around the world? He's been in WWE. He knows the in and outs. What is he kind of teaching you, not just in the ring, but kind of outside the ring as well?
Well, man, it's still mind-blowing that this opportunity presented itself for me, and I worked very hard for it, but it's still one of them gifts that I'll appreciate every single day. I feel since Hero and I got together and he started teaching me things here and there, I've had my best wrestling matches to date, and I've been able to use what he shows me inside of the ring each time, and it's already made me 10 times a better wrestler than I was beforehand. But outside of the ring, a lot of the stuff is based on respect, how to carry myself. What we do is looked upon by a lot of people, and we have the opportunities to either sway them in a direction where they see what we're doing is a positive or what we're doing is a negative. And Chris is very high on accenting all the positives in life and in wrestling, and we both see eye to eye on that. So it's really easy to kind of just keep my name out there, and I don't have to go online and post a bunch of stupid things on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that to have people have a negative image about what I do in life. But it's great, man, and knowing that I have somebody who is so willing to give back to me and to because there's a million independent wrestlers in the world, and there's probably thousands upon thousands that looked up to Chris Hero, but out of everybody in wrestling, I was chosen to be partnered up with him and something that he embraced, and now he's in a leader role, and he's teaching me things that I didn't even know existed, because as you said, he's so world-traveled. I don't think there is another wrestler on the planet who is in Christian's position that can do what he can. He's simply amazing to watch on DVD or live in the crowd, but it's a whole other show when you're standing on the apron and your tag team partner is Chris Hero.
Very true, and everything that you said, I can definitely agree with, and I can see your point. Does it kind of give you a confidence boost where you go from, tagging as the Juicy product, where you guys are both up-and-comers, and now you're being tagged with a veteran who's kind of leading the way and putting faith in you? Does it kind of give you a confidence boost in your abilities and what you're doing?
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to say it. It gives me confidence in my abilities. I know how good of a professional wrestler I am. I'm just not the type of person who promotes it as such. I don't go around telling everybody how good I am or parading it around or anything like that. I let my wrestling do the talking. I let my promotional videos do the talking, everything like that, because that's me in that element. There's no gimmick. There's no anything. And having Hero push me, it's got me to a level where I feel like Juicy Product and teaming up with David Starr really just taught me how to be a tag team wrestler, and then it got me ready to do Death by Elbow and be a part of something that eventually I feel will be bigger, which is an enormous task because of all the success I found in Juicy Product. But I think with the mindset that Hero and I have, we can become one of the top tag teams in wrestling today. And I look forward to going on that journey.
Definitely agree. I can't wait to personally see what happens with Death by Elbow. It's something where two styles kind of, come together, two similar styles. That you have the veteran and the up-and-coming guys, so I'm definitely enjoying it so far.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to Sunday at Beyond Wrestling. We're teaming up again. Hero and I are going up against Dan Barry and Bill Starr. Yeah, Team Tremendous. They just made their PWG debut. And
we love to do it, because we don't get to see the stuff that that happens down at Beyond, certain guys or the guys like the CZW.
They're so great.
And when we see these guys, it's crazy. Majority of the guys that wrestle with you on a regular and that they're now here at PWG, they're definitely making a big splash over here. The Beaver Boys, those guys, they're making a big splash. But I actually want to go back to you and David Starr, because June 5th you guys actually go one-on-one. I'm not sure how many times you guys faced each other already since the breakup.
Only the one at Beyond. That was last month. We've only wrestled each other 2 times ever.
Okay.
And it was our debut in Combat Zone and that recent match for Beyond Wrestling.
Okay, what's the promotion you guys are gonna go against each other at this promotion on June 5th?
It's in Brooklyn, New York, and it's called Five Borough Wrestling.
Okay, all right. To all of our listeners that's in the Brooklyn area, hello, Tom. Just knocking over there because you're close to New York, buddy. Go
Listen, New York is a big state, buddy. You got to remember that.
Well, somehow you...
A big state. It's like California. Not everyone lives in L.A., man.
Well, you and David going at it once again. My money's on JT for sure. I'm not gonna lie, you've always been my favorite between the Juicy Product. That's why you're on the show. That's
Well, I appreciate that.
I kind of don't want to have you go over what we kind of just heard about the breakup, because you kind of just went over it. I was gonna say, can you tell us your thoughts on the match, but that's it's kind of like what you kind of just basically talked about the whole breakup. But back to what you were saying with Beyond, you and Chris are going to get Team Tremendous, and we were just talking about that. Talk to us about that tag team matchup.
I think Bill and Dan are absolutely phenomenal, and I've learned a lot from them over the time that we've been friends. And actually, last year for the tournament for tomorrow for Beyond Wrestling, for myself to get my rematch against the Young Bucks, I had to beat Team Tremendous as a part of Juicy Product, and we weren't able to do it. I actually suffered a concussion in that match, and David Starr was pinned, and we never got our rematch with the Bucks. And then we haven't shared the ring together since then, and that was last November, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to see how far my growth in the ring has gotten since then, and get in there with Hero as opposed to David Starr, and really dissect this wrestling match and really deliver a style that I'm more accustomed to, and that's just throwing fists and throwing elbows. And I think I'm going to keep taking the steps in the right direction. Last show, I didn't have Hero there, so I kind of just took a shot in the dark and called out the Young Bucks, and we're just going to keep beating tag teams and Beyond Wrestling until the Young Bucks finally get in the ring with us, and we can show them that Death by Elbow is just as good.
Speaking of the Bucks, anytime the Bucks jump in the ring with somebody, it's awesome. And one match that I still have not found or got a chance to watch, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to go on the Beyond website to watch it, and I still want to see it, even though there's no longer Juicy Product. There's Juicy Product against the Bucks. I'm pretty sure that was nuts.
Yeah, that was overall, that was one of my favorite matches that I've ever been a part of. It was very important for us to have a solid performance with the Bucks, whether we were able to pick up the win, the loss, or the draw, and we ended up losing. But man, I can't even explain the emotions that were pouring out, because there's a lot of people in that building, not really in the crowd, more maybe backstage, or people that were on the scene that kind of wanted to see us go in there and fail, just so all the hype would stop, or we would shut our mouths and everything. And we went out there and we killed it, and we stole the show, and we proved to everybody why we should have been the main event. It was great. It was great to shove it up everybody's up their ass and go out there and kill with the Bucks. And it really solidified Juicy Product as the tag team to beat at that point. And it was cool because it led to a lot of the different opportunities, and then we got to share the ring with them a couple more times afterwards, which is always great. Those guys were absolutely amazing. Like I was thinking about being on the apron, watching Hero wrestle so close. It's the same thing with the Bucks. They're so fluid. It's like magic every time they're in there. They just have this connection with everybody and with themselves. Nobody's going to be able to top it.
Yeah. It's also one thing that bothered me as a fan, but I've seen on social media people saying that Juicy Product are like a wannabe Bucks.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
One of the clarifications on that, this is really how it went down. We kind of just did our own thing until we felt we were comfortable enough to get in the ring with the Bucks. So we just started calling them out, whether it be social media, at wrestling shows and promos or anything like that, until we got the match that we wanted. So just to kind of go up their ass and get under their skin, we started doing their pose. We started doing more super kicks whenever the opportunity arose, and we started doing the Indy Taker just to get on the Bucks nerves. They would accept our challenge, and then they did for American Rana. And then after that, it was really just kind of, we went back to doing what we do and what we're really good at. But our plan worked, and everybody was kind of calling us Young Buck wannabes and like discount Young Bucks, and it was great because every time that they would tweet that at us, they would attach Nick and Matt's name in there, and it just got under their skin even more, and they had to come in there and they had to shut us up. And they did, but you know what? I think at the end of the day, the fans saw Juicy Product in a whole different light.
Yeah. To all the fans that said that, come on. I'm going to go ahead and pass the question on to Oscar. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a non-wrestling question. I remember last time we had you here, we were mostly talking about your football background. I want to ask you something that's going on around the NFL right now, which was the Deflategate scandal. I want to ask you, as a former player, if you were like still playing today and you found out like say a quarterback that you played so many times were doing this, how would you feel? And how do you think the locker room around the league feels that, you know, this been going on and then might have cost the other team's chances to win a Super Bowl? So as a former player, how will you feel about this, and what's your take about this scandal?
Man, if I would feel mainly just so bad for the teams that would have to play against them and get there, and they've worked their entire life to get to that point and to have a fair chance at winning a Super Bowl or win a playoff game or win a big game. And if something like that was interfering with it and everything was confirmed, like I would feel so bad taking those opportunities away from those people. And if I was playing with that person, I just think it's such a weird thing that taking air out of the balls for somehow allowed them to create this magic and the other team. Like, it's just such an insane thing that on such a high level of football that something like that actually was able to happen. I would feel terrible for their team. I would feel terrible for my teammates that have reached all these levels of success, and to know that all those wins, all those trophies, all those rings would be tainted, and players would really never know how good you actually are. So you just really set a legacy for yourself based on lies and based on you being able to cheat and get away with it, Like, that's not what everybody spends their entire life training and sitting there waiting to be drafted, waiting on the bench to finally get in there and play, going home with cuts and bruises and dislocated this, and your feet are all messed up and your ankles cracked. Like, you don't spend all that time dealing with that to get up there and to just piss it all away and to cheat. There's never anything positive that comes out of a cheating situation. So I feel bad, and I feel bad for football, because what a disgraceful thing to be covering the media and getting such national attention because Tom Brady is involved, and because the Patriots are involved. And then you have the whole Aaron Hernandez thing going on around the same time. So, like, terrible time to be a New England Patriot.
Yeah. The question about those balls, I'm not familiar, because you're a football player. Like, how is there like a certain pressure? Like, does it need to feel like when you carry those balls, do you have to feel like some certain way that for you can actually practice, or have you felt that pressure way that everybody's playing with Tom Brady has been doing? Like, how the balls were inflatable, how he likes it. Like, you get what I'm talking about, right? Like, have you felt that pressure? Is like, yeah.
It's just like it's weird. You never know when a football has been messed around with or anything like that. Especially in the NFL, everybody wears gloves. They have protection on their hands. Your adrenaline's going. So you would never, especially at such a small degree as what they're saying it was. You would never be able to know that the ball was really messed with. So, to the best of my knowledge, and I've played with like loose footballs and deflated footballs and everything like that, just because growing up, like, that's what you have. You're going to play with it. Like, I've never really noticed, not a certain team can't do bad just because of the football, and the other team does good with the same footballs. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, even if they practice every single day with a slightly deflated football, I think during the game, the other team would be able to adjust so fast because they're professionals. They've been playing football their whole life. It doesn't alter the way that you play the game. It just alters what you're playing the game with, and you're still able to do everything. People still caught the ball, still ran with it. There was the instances where weird things happened, but weird things happen in football. Things that are coincidence just happen because that's the nature of the game.
Yeah, but as a defender, I mean, because I don't know how to. I don't play football. I just play like what the fuck I've in the streets before. But
if you're a defender, you hope for a deflated football, because the ball will move. It's the only position where you'll know if something's up, because the ball will move slower. Or if you're an offensive player, especially the quarterback, you need that ball to get there as fast as possible, or over a defender, or through a defender. And if it's flat or anything like that, it's going to be that half a second slower. So you ever see replays where a guy just missed it with his fingertips and the other guy caught it? That half a second difference is that guy in front catching the ball, or the guy in front knocking it down. So there's a substantial difference in messing with the weight of the ball. But I really just can't believe that it's happening, because I've watched a lot of Patriots games. I'm from New England. A lot of my friends are New England fans. Some of those games, you would never be able to tell. Like, especially and I'm a Rams fan, and I had no clue.
Yeah, when I heard the scandal first, I wasn't sure if it's true or not. Just prove it. But then with the whole, Tom Brady doesn't want them to show their phone, and that's like, okay. Then he goes back. Going back, because I'm a Rams fan, they beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. I'm thinking, did they cheat to beat them? Because I felt like that Rams team was better than the one that won the Super Bowl. I thought that team was better. But how the fuck we lost to the Patriots? I'm trying to figure that out.
Crazy.
Yeah,
the Patriots definitely have had a lot of instances where it's just like, how the hell did they do it again? So you never know, but man, that would be crazy if it goes that far back to where they've been looking for wins. They had to do it that early.
All right. Well, I just want to know how as a former player, how this all the deflating ball thing, how it could affect the game and all that. But I'm glad you answered that question. Well, I'm gonna go pass it to the guy he's glad his New York Giants beat him twice in the Super Bowl, Mr. Tom.
I am glad of that. And kind of speaking of controversy, I'm going to go back to wrestling. I wanted to touch on something that kind of resonated throughout the whole independent scene and kind of gained some negative attention, but also, some positive attention. And that was the whole incident at Beyond Wrestling with Chris Dickinson, Pazuzu bombing Kimberly. I know you weren't directly involved, but, you were in Kimberly's corner. And, obviously you and Kimberly have a history, good and bad, former enemies, but, now turned friends. But that incident alone kind of, I think, gained a lot of negative attention because I think it got like 100,000 views on YouTube. People were saying how dangerous it was. People were saying, how could somebody do that to a woman in the wrestling ring? What was your whole reaction to what transpired between Chris Dickinson and Kimberly that night at Beyond Wrestling?
Man, you would think that I would have been the most aggravated person in the world or the most angry person watching that happen. And a lot of people, not anymore, but for a while, they would approach me and ask me why I didn't go in there and fight him and why I didn't hit him with a chair or something crazy like that. People that had their opinions that were negative towards that situation have to remember that Kimberly's a professional wrestler, a trained professional wrestler. She wouldn't step inside of a ring knowing the consequences and willingly do something where it wasn't for the entertainment purposes of the people who paid to see that show. And there was so much behind that story and all that emotion that people who hadn't been there for 16 months really didn't see build up. Like Kim had a 16-month undefeated streak at Beyond. She had never been pinned inside of FET. And Dickinson had taken all these monsters down, and the only thing that was bigger than him was the talk of Kim being undefeated and how Dickinson couldn't beat her. And it was just one of these stories that took 16 months to develop, which is very, very hard to do in wrestling. And it played out perfectly, and two professional wrestlers went in there, and Dickinson did what he felt he needed to do to take it to that next level and finally end the streak of Kim, who had beat some of the best wrestlers in the world. And Dickinson tried to pin her, couldn't, and then it came down to the chair shot and the Pazuzu bomb. And the Pazuzu bomb looked dangerous. It's one of them things where you look at it and you cringe yourself as if you felt it. And I did 2 days beforehand, and I was a little banged up from it, but not as bad as I have been from taking moves from people who are a lot smaller or bigger, and then moves that are less dangerous, and being hit with those. It was just situational, and it turned into something that it really didn't need to, because these are entertainers, they're athletes, they're professionals, and people were trying to make it into a man versus woman thing, and turned it into a national news broadcast and try to get people to just put it on blast everywhere as violence against women, and that's not what it was. And
you know what's funny, JT? That video made it to WorldStarHipHop.com.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm an avid fan of WorldStarHipHop.com, and when I found that made it on there, I was shocked because I didn't think that many people in the world would give a shit about what happened at Beyond Wrestling, and Beyond has done some insane things prior to that. Literally 11 minutes before that happened, Air Fox was thrown off the balcony and smashed through a table and hit the floor. And that video has not even close to as much attention as a girl getting hit with a chair and then thrown across the ring by a man, which blows my mind because Air Fox will do anything to entertain people, and he was thrown off a balcony through a table 11 minutes before that happened, and we're not talking about that right now, are we?
Yeah. I noticed that a lot of the comments that were from wrestling fans, not from people that maybe weren't familiar with Beyond, but a lot of the independent wrestling fans kind of got on Chris Dickinson's case and said that he was an unsafe worker, that he was reckless in there. Would you kind of disagree with what those fans were saying? Because I saw a lot of people just saying, oh, it's just, we know what's going on. It's just Dickinson being an unsafe worker.
I can definitely make a statement on that, because I've shared the ring with Chris dozens of times, and I have never been hurt by Chris. It's rough and it's tough, but I enjoy it that way. I enjoy lots of contact, and you hit me hard, I hit you just as hard. I'm a fighter, and I think a lot of people are starting to realize that, and getting in there with somebody like Dickinson brings that raw emotion out of you, that animal instinct where it's kill or be killed, but inside of a professional wrestling atmosphere, which it's something that's very, very surreal. And I think he makes wrestling, to those people who may think it's fake or it's not as real as possible, he brings legitimacy to what he does, because people realize he's crazy, he's a lunatic, he will do whatever it takes, but at the end of the day, Chris is a professional, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to get people talking about him. But at the same time, man, people need to realize, he's a human being. We're all humans. They needed to tone it down a little bit, because he received death threats and all kinds of stuff. And it was just crazy how that situation was handled. I think it was if I could go back, I wouldn't change it. I would leave everything the same, because it got beyond tons of exposure. It got Kim and Chris tons of exposure, and definitely from outlets that they probably would not have reached if it wasn't for that incident. And then you had your casual wrestling fans that maybe watch WWE or TNA and have no real clue at the indies come across it, and it kind of brought a lot of people over from that TV style wrestling into independent wrestling. And there's been a huge surge of people, and I'm not saying that incident is responsible for it, but I'm sure having over 3 million people view an independent wrestling clip definitely helps.
Yeah, without a doubt. That whole incident, I just thought it was a good storyline, because I knew what was going on with there. Obviously, I've seen Chris Dickinson live. I know Kimberly, I've seen a ton of her matches, and I'm just I was just kind of laughing at all the reactions. I'm you people just need to chill out a second and think about what you're typing, but it's the internet, so I wasn't too surprised.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, Skits, throw it back to you, man.
Yeah, JT, let's go back to some matches that you have coming up. This grudge match coming tomorrow. You're gonna go against Ken Broadway, which I'm really not familiar with Ken, but I did see the promo that you did earlier on your Facebook. Tell us about that match, and what led this match on to for tomorrow.
Okay, well, the very quick summary is Ricochet won the House of Glory tournament to be the first ever champion. He went one-on-one with AJ Styles, where Brian XL interfered and had a Money in the Bank type envelope, cashed it in, he won the belt. He was then injured in a match with Tommy Dreamer, and the belt was vacated, so they had a 4-way scramble match, elimination style, and the winner would be the new champion. It was between two students, and myself and Amazing Red. Ken Broadway was one of the students, and a luchador named Smiley was the other. And I was able to eliminate Ken. He decided to insert himself back in the match several minutes later, when I was pretty much set to win, and he sent his group of people in there and got me eliminated from the match, and went online and started running his mouth and just being very, very disrespectful. So I approached House of Glory, I asked for the match, and it took a little bit, but they signed off on it, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of that kid tomorrow.
Is this Kim Broadway guy? Is this somebody that we need to look out for? There's somebody that might make a splash in the wrestling world?
I think so, man. Not taking away from his wrestling ability, he's still very, very young in wrestling. He's still young in his training, but he already has a lot of the factors you would need to be successful and he has amazing red leading him in the direction he needs to go. Like I said in the video, my biggest thing with him is respect. There's literally 0 ounces of respect in that kid. He kind of just thinks he's hot shit, and I can't blame him. Like, I had the same attitude when I was young and coming up, and I had a little bit of Twitter buzz, and that's all he has, is his friends back home think he's real cool. That'll change tomorrow.
Somebody about to go to school tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Also, JT, you have Legacy of Champions, which I see you got David Starr is going to be there. You got you also have PJ Black's going to be there, Era Fox, Kimberly. I really don't see too much information on this matchup, or excuse me, the show. Can you tell us about the show? What's going to happen?
Yeah, absolutely. This is actually their debut show, and it's here in Pennsylvania. And they're kind of doing a tournament to crown their first heavyweight champion. They have Kimberly versus Hanaya for the first ever women's champion. And they broke it down into 4 singles matches where the 4 winners will advance to the main event in a 5-way scramble match with PJ Black, formerly known as Justin Gabriel. And the winner of that scramble match will be the new champion. My first round matchup is against AR Fox, which I don't understand.
That's going to be nuts.
I don't understand why that's a first round matchup and not just put the belt on the line with 2 of us, because nobody's going to be able to top what we do out there. You have David Starr versus Shane Strickland. I'm not very sure what the other matches are off the top of my head, but I remember seeing Joey Janela, the Gran Akuma, Eddie Smooth, and I believe Sean Carr announced. I could be wrong, but they look like they have everything going right, and they have a great card set up. And this has been a show that I've had locked in a date for a long time. So it's cool that this one's finally here, and I get to get back in the ring with Era Fox. We just worked each other maybe about 2.5, 3 months ago with that, and we had our best match to date. So I'm looking to top that on June 6th.
It's crazy you just mentioned Sean Carr, and I believe you're going to be in a tag match, and X-Pac is going to be involved too. That should be pretty good. It's going to be at 2CW on the 20th.
Yeah, June 20th. I think it's like in Oswego, New York, or Pennville. I think they have it billed as. But I just found this out, I want to say yesterday. But Colin Delaney and I are teaming up for the first time, taking on Sean Carr and X-Pac, which is really cool, man. I've never got to wrestle a match against X-Pac, and he was one of my inspirations growing up. I actually saw him at a 2CW show recently and sat down and had a great conversation with him. So it's really cool that the next show we get to get in there, and I finally get to cross X-Pac off my bucket list.
Definitely. I have one more thing, because I don't think the guys are going to mention this. I know you have one more event. I believe it's in June 27th. It's a convention. You're going to be a part of that convention.
I was actually going to mention that next. I was actually going to go ahead.
My fault. It's going to be a convention, and Scott Hall and Goldberg are going to be two big names. Are going to be a part of that Fan Fest. And I actually seen this Fan Fest. I believe they just followed us on Twitter. Tell us about this Fan Fest here.
Yeah, the Fan Fest is great. This is my 3rd year doing it. What they do is they have a Hall of Fame ceremony where wrestlers who have found success at a substantial level will be introduced and then inducted to the New England Hall of Fame. And the day before, they have this huge meet and greet for just hours upon hours where fans can purchase a ticket and come into the convention center and meet wrestlers from just time spans so far back. And it's absolutely amazing to have something like this. And this year I'm being vendored in by Beyond Wrestling because they're hosting an event the next day on June 28th in Providence, Rhode Island. So they're nice enough to bring me in, which is great because it's home for me. It's in Rhode Island, so it's great to come back and I'll be able to see a bunch of the fans. And I always have a great time at the Fan Fest. catch up with people and meet some new people and everything like that. I'm always excited to see Scott. It'll be great to see him there.
Definitely, man. I just want to say conventions are always fun, especially when you got some of the new generation guys like yourself there, and you got guys like you grew up watching there. Because I remember when WrestleMania weekend, me and Oscar, we got to go to WrestleCon, and that was pretty fun. Got to see Sky Hall, Demolition. Just name them. They were there, Dudley Boys, and you got to see guys like ACH there, and like Mike Bennett. Like it was pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely enjoy the convention stuff.
Definitely, man. Go ahead, Oscar.
Now, Skiz will tell me about all these bookings. Like, you're getting booked like crazy now these days. I was gonna ask you, what's next for you? It's something like out of the country you'd like to perform, or maybe a possible other big company. Like now we're hearing these triple thread. Wednesday Night Wars coming up. It's like Lucha Underground, something you like to go to down the road. Like, what's next you want to accomplish?
I definitely want to accomplish more international stuff. I'm a very, very big fan. It's always been my dream to travel internationally and be able to learn and have matches there with people who normally don't come to the States. And for example, like a Kenny Omega who was able to go to Japan and kind of make a career out there and become known as one of the best independent wrestlers out there. It's something along those lines is an ideal career move for me. I would love to go to the UK and learn that style of wrestling because it's always fascinated me, but I've never really had somebody in my area or that I've crossed paths with a lot that was able to pass knowledge on that was correct from that area. And I've been picking Hero's brain a lot about that style of wrestling. It is very, very interesting to me to learn every single movement you have in the ring, having a purpose and working holds and everything. UK is phenomenal with that style of wrestling, and I would love something in Japan. I feel my style of wrestling really applies to a lot of the Japanese promotions, and it would be not an easy transition, but easier because I've already kind of put together the building blocks that they would be able to align for me out there. I'm definitely open to something more major. At the same time, I know I have a lot of work that I still need to do, whether it be towards wrestling or my physical appearance or anything like that, because I've been training harder than ever. My body finally is healing up. I suffered a couple of injuries over the last year that just took time because I didn't have the ability to take time off from wrestling. So it took longer to heal because I was fighting through all these injuries. And the last real thing I'm waiting on is my shoulder to heal up, and I can get back to being as close to 100% as an indie wrestler can be. But I'm no longer sitting around waiting for things to happen. I've been very, very aggressive lately, and that's probably why you guys have seen that I've been getting booked in all these places and all over, and there's no time off or anything. My body feels great. My mind feels great. I'm taking advantage of that, and throughout the summer, I'm going to put independent wrestling on notice. And that's not just some like hype thing or something cool to say. That's something I truly mean, and it starts this weekend. After this weekend, I'm going to turn a lot of heads, and it's going to keep going. And by the end of the summer, I guarantee you I'll be in a better place than I'm at right now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see what happens. Now we all heard all these rumors that AJ Styles could be going to WWE. Maybe we'll have a new Bullet Club member right here. So.
Man, nothing would make me happier.
All right. I'm going to go pass it to Tom.
All right, JT. So, final question to end it all. To somebody who is listening to this, who has never seen JT Dunn wrestle one match, what is the one match that you point them to that defines who you are?
Oh, man. Should go and check out the first match I had with Chris Hero from critically acclaimed at Beyond Wrestling. I feel right now that is the best match I've ever had in my entire life. It was the first time I ever got in the ring with Hero. It was the first time I was pushed that far to really figure out how good I actually was. And to be successful, you have to understand that you're good or you're bad. And I work hard to be very, very good. And that match put me in a place that I've always wanted to be at in a wrestling term, where I guess it'd be based on a level of respect. And it's somewhere I've wanted to get to, and I've wanted my wrestling to do the talking for me my entire career. And that match really, it's my everything in that ring for 30 minutes with Chris. Just my blood, my sweat, my tears, my story happened throughout that match. And for it to be against Chris, a match that I never thought I would have, it was something that I'll literally never forget. Every single punch, every single kick, every single time that I just didn't think I could get back up. He definitely pushed me to a limit I didn't even know existed. And it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me, because now I'm 10 times a better wrestler and 10 times a better person because of that match.
Definitely. I remember I saw that match not too long ago. I'm kind of catching up on Beyond, and I mean, it's what kind of the strong style type is here in the United States, and throwing elbows and the stiff kicks. I mean, I think anybody would love it, because who doesn't love seeing two guys just beat the crap out of each other? You know, people, you're mentioning World Star Hip Hop, people go on the website to see people beat each other up. Let's watch two professionals work their craft. And, you know, a personal recommendation that I think that I should throw out there is you versus Kimberly. I mean, going into that match, I was like, oh, I don't know if they're going to mesh, but you guys went in there and you guys absolutely just killed it, tore the house down.
I appreciate that. I'm a very big fan of female professional wrestling. I'm enamored by it, I should say, because it's just so out there. It's so good. It's so different. And some of the girls work so much harder than the guys do in wrestling. And I'm always eager to see the girls prove the guys wrong, I guess. Because there's a lot of people that doubt the girls in wrestling, and they never should. They're just as good, if not better. So I wanted to take my stand at intergender wrestling and really put my name on the map as a guy the girls would want to work with, because I'm going to give you the best match that I possibly can. And I wanted to go right up the guys' asses in wrestling who maybe dislike intergender wrestling, or maybe had a bad experience with it themselves and don't recommend it to people. I definitely recommend it to people. I think it's phenomenal. I was lucky enough to work with Kim numerous times, and we were able to learn and teach each other a bunch of things and entertain several times. And I'm sure there'll be another one sooner or later, and we'll have to go out there and piss a lot of people off with with how good intergender wrestling really is. But I think aside from myself, the only other person I really see loving intergender wrestling because he does it is Joey Ryan. So
I knew you were going to say Joey.
Yeah, and he's one of the more avid guys out there that's open to working with the females and not just going out there and doing what he feels like. He's there to entertain and put on a great wrestling match, and it doesn't matter if there's a guy or girl across the ring. Like, you're still a professional wrestler.
Couldn't agree more with any of the stuff that you said. So you made some excellent points. Well, JT, as much as we would love to keep you on here for the rest of the show and talk to you all night, because it's been, I think, a pleasure for all three of us to do it, I think we got to let you go because we don't want you up too late because you got a busy weekend. So
I appreciate it.
Why don't you throw out your plugs for everybody who's listening, where they can follow you, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, whatever you got, throw it out.
Absolutely. Well, you can follow me on Twitter at The Juice, TheJuicee, 3 E's at the end. I'm uploading content as we speak to youtube.com/TheJuiceX8. Over the past couple of weeks, I've uploaded some matches that I've had recently and some interesting ventures on Life of Juice. So go check some of those episodes out. Check out my matches with Austin Aries, Ethan Carter III from TNA. I have a lot of clips coming out, so there'll be a lot of content on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. All you have to do is search JT Dunn. I pop right up. I'm on Instagram. I want to give a shout-out to Strong Style Brand, Vegas Fuel Energy, SBV Supplements, all guys who believe in me, and we have a great sponsorship and partnership together. So please check them all out through my social medias. All my videos, I have all of their links and their tags. And I think the most important thing is for everybody to remember, life is beautiful. Keep it positive and keep focused on following the dreams that you set out for yourself, whether you've lost track or maybe you're just taking a little pit stop. Just get back on the road, and everything that anybody could ever want is as simple as just smiling. So that's when everybody just keep it positive, man.
Hey, real quick, JT, you want to throw out your Pro Wrestling Tees link?
Oh, yeah. You can check out ProWrestlingTees.com/JT Dunn. I have about 4 or 5 shirts up there right now. I have some new ones that are only in stock through me. So you can shoot me an email, shoot me a message on anything on social media, and I can get these brand new tank tops out. I have a few left, and I have about, I would say, 5 to 6 new shirt designs in the works right now. I'm happy to say that one of them I will be donating proceeds of it to the Rhode Island Substance Abuse Counseling Program because, as everybody knows, I've had my battle with addiction. So I will have a shirt resembling my tribulations with that. And for anybody who purchases them, I will be donating a percentage of each shirt there to the Rhode Island Fund. So I think that's going to be great when that comes out, and it's going to be something cool for me because I'm going to become more vocal and much more of an advocate and speak out for substance abuse, and I'm interested to see how that goes.
Definitely, JT, man. We just want to say we appreciate you taking your time out to talk with talk with us, and hopefully, man, we can bring you back on, and we'll see you in August down here in Southern California.
I look forward to it, man. August seems so far away. I wish it was sooner. But hey, man, I've always had a great time with you guys. So anytime you want me back on, you let me know. I'm always flexible to move my schedule around.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Or you know what? Because I don't see June 26th coming up. That's Mystery Vortex. Maybe sooner. I could have it. Man, you know what I'm saying?
Let's just keep praying. Hey, let's let all the wrestling guys make it happen.
I posted that the other day that I have that date available, and I'm happy to say it's still available. I'm happy and sad to say it's still available. And
how about for our listeners, if you guys want Jay Dunn to go to
I was going to say that.
Bug the shit out of them. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah. I'm sure they're gonna be like, oh, they bug the shit out of us. Let's bring this guy in. You must be a real jackass.
All right, JT, man. We appreciate it, man, and we'll see you soon, dude.
Definitely. Look forward to it, man.
Take care, man.
Later, guys.
All right, man.
Later.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Juice, JT Dunn. Awesome interview right there, guys. We usually end our interviews a little early, but that was a pretty good damn interview just to even stop, you know?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I noticed that every time we bring a returning guest, it's like that interview would be shorter than the first time, but this time was like almost equal than the last time we had him on.
Yeah, man. It's always fun talking to JT.
I mean, it was a great interview because he's JT Dunn is just, he seems like the guy that just, he loves talking about wrestling, loves talking about life. And, I mean, what he said at the end, I don't think I've ever heard any wrestler who has come on here or any other interview say something as positive as that. That's like Drake Younger type stuff right there.
Yeah,
like,
man.
the positivity is just flowing through Wrestlingheads Radio right now.
Yeah, man. You know what, guys? We got a lot of shit to talk about. How about let's take a break and we'll talk about some shit that popped off this week in wrestling. We'll be right back.
This is Josh Alexander
and Ethan Page.
We are the Monster Mafia.
And you're listening to Wrestlingheads Radio.
This is Ring of Honor superstar Nigel McGuinness, and you are listening to Wrestlingheads Radio Show. So stay tuned, you wankers.
Hey, this is Ray Rosas.
And PPA all day, the biggest man in professional wrestling, pretty Peter Avalon.
And we are P. Ray.
Love it. I love it. God, your voice is majestic. And you are listening to Wrestlingheads You got this one.
Radio. Woo!
All you have to do is believe.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to WH Radio. I am Skits, alone here with my co-hosts Oscar and Tom. And the world of professional wrestling is shook the fuck up. Let me tell you guys what I was doing. I believe of course, you know, before work, me and Matt and Orton, we like to hang out on the Xbox before I leave. And all of a sudden I see like somebody from like Ring of Honor retweet Destination America saying ROH is gonna make a debut. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, guys, look at your no. You know what? I didn't even do that. I actually posted it in this group that we're in on Facebook, and they say, what the fuck? What did you post? And then you go on. You know, it's like an April Fool's joke at first. Everybody's like, this is not true. Then you go on Cheeseburger's fucking Twitter. You see him post it. Then you go on Kyle O'Reilly's. You see him post. You see Adam Cole post it. You like, oh, it's real now. You see Adam Cole post it. Oh, this is a real deal. So peep this out, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a professional wrestling fan, Wednesdays is about to be the best day of the life for wrestling fans. We got Ring of Honor now, baby, on Destination America. Finally, baby, I can watch some Ring of Honor without going on the computer. Oh my God, might as well just cancel my Ring of Honor account now.
Well, don't cancel it yet, because you know now we got the news they're gonna be Destination America during the same time of Lucha Underground and NXT. But remember, they only have a short-term contract. They're only going to be, well, so far they're going to be running shows until the end of the year. So I'm thinking this is a tryout. If Destination America wants to renew them after the contract is up, then you can probably cancel your whatever membership if you want. But as of right now, I still hold it just in case Destination America, I don't know, does something stupid. That's the only thing I'm a little concerned about them being in Destination America. If there's any egos involved, that's my little concern. Because remember, Ring of Honor is owned by another cable company, Sinclair Broadcasting. So their shows, whatever show is going to be shown at Destination America, it's going to be shown in the Sinclair Broadcasting first. Then they're going to show it on Destination America. So then when the contract runs up, what deals can Destination America do with Sinclair Broadcasting? Because we know in the history, Sinclair will do something dumb, you know, like, oh, we don't want this and that. Or then we also heard Destination America wants involvement of the storyline somehow.
That's one thing I was about to mention right there. They have no involvement in Ring of Honor from what Matt said.
Yes, I understand. Right now they don't. But I mean, when the contract runs up, what's the Destination America going to do? to the station.
Let me say this. First, I got to say this caught me by surprise. And you know what? It caught fucking TNA by surprise. Nobody...
MVP was pissed.
Nobody in TNA knew this was happening, and this deal was in the works for months. TNA talent and TNA personnel were left in the fucking dark by Dixie Carter, that incompetent fucking moron. It is mind-boggling how stupid TNA management is. You know what this is? This is Destination America introducing fans to something else while keeping on TNA. And then once the contract expires in September for TNA, bye-bye TNA, hello Ring of Honor. And what we just mentioned about the whole Sinclair Broadcasting Destination America thing, it wouldn't make sense, because what Destination America is doing is syndicating what Sinclair Broadcasting is, producing for Ring of Honor. And that's cheap as hell to do. So all Destination America has to do is put the show on there. And if the numbers and ratings are good enough, then they get advertisers, then they get a whole bunch of different things hopefully lined up. And that was one of the biggest things with TNA and Destination America. There was a memo sent out by the Discovery Network, who owns Destination America. This was sent out 2 weeks ago. Remind you that. This was sent out 2 weeks ago, around the time where Dave Meltzer started kind of rumoring that TNA might be up for cancellation or not renewal in September. So this is what it said. Destination America is not renewing TNA wrestling next year. While the ratings were strong, the audience was not large enough to justify the program investment. We plan to honor the current contract and continue to air original episodes of TNA Wrestling on Friday nights through the end of the third quarter 2015. When the upfront rate card is released, the Friday night anthology title will now be called American Tales, which will be a combination of paranormal, blah, 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 blah. I hope this is good news, given all the advertisers that included TNA on their DNA list, which is do not advertise. This is such a mess for TNA and such an upbringing lift if you're in Ring of Honor. Imagine what Kazarian and Daniels feel right now. They left TNA, they left that sinking ship, and they jumped to Ring of Honor. Now Ring of Honor is going up, TNA is going down. And you know what? We were talking about this around the summertime last.
Did you see the tweets? Did you see the tweets from Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels? They're like basically like kind of laughing, like they're happy. Shit, they're happy right now. So,
I don't like to say this because I don't want to see people go out of jobs. And we were saying this around the same time last year when the whole Spike TV thing was going on with TNA. But this looks to be like TNA's final nail in the coffin. What programming station is going to want to pick up TNA? They're on DNA lists with advertisers. They're not getting good reports from their management. I like how so much of TNA's management were bashing Dave Meltzer on Twitter when he released the report of TNA being canceled in September, saying that, it was bullshit and they're going to sue him, when it turned out to be true. They are covering their own asses in an attempt to try and look good, and that's hurting them even more. These are the most incompetent people I've ever seen run an organization in my life. And to be honest, and I hate to say this, because like I said, I don't like to see anybody in the wrestling business lose a job, TNA needs to go. TNA needs to be dead. That's it.
I guarantee you a lot of those guys can pick up a job quick. A lot of those guys on the TNA roster.
Okay. You guys are coming out here saying the wrestlers could get a job easily, or the management, they just they're fucking morons and all this shit, and TNA needs to die. Well, you gotta understand something. There's other people that also are employed in TNA. You gotta worry about those guys. What about the ring?
I'm pretty sure they can get jobs too.
Where?
Because they got the experience.
Yeah, but
what do you think?
Jobs out there, Ring of Honor is gonna. I mean, would Ring of Honor bring them in? Who knows? They've already got their own people. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't like. That's why I don't like to say it, because I don't like to see.
That's one thing. That's one. I mean, we always see writers leave one promotion to another promotion. I mean, if they have a good.
It's more than just writers.
Hold on. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about guys, camera guys, all that. Like if they have the experience, I'm pretty sure they can get picked up, dude. Like, I mean,
and one of
we
the
don't
things,
know. Honestly, we don't know if that same camera guy from the WWE, if he worked TNA before, or we don't know that because these guys don't have a name like that. They probably have, for all we know.
And you also have to remember when it comes to camera guys and producers and guys that work behind the scenes, unless you're like an agent, like an Al Snow or something of that sense. If you're a camera guy, you're not limited to just wrestling. There's other opportunities out there, TV, movies, documentaries. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can get into besides wrestling. Just because you filmed wrestling doesn't mean you're stuck in that bubble as far as that. The only people that are stuck in that bubble are agents and wrestlers. That's really the only people.
That's true. That is true. I mean, because that means he can do, say, for instance, he can be the camera guy for fucking American Idol, for all we know, for Fox 11, shit. You know? All you gotta do is apply.
This company is just, TNA is a mess. They are, and the last few weeks have proved how much of a mess they are with, total PR nightmare. All the stuff that they've been posting on Twitter, telling fans, it's okay, it's just rumors, don't believe the rumors, and it comes out to be true, and they're leaving their talent in the dark. They're not paying their guys. It's just, this company is a mess. And when you have something like,
I just know, out of all the guys for the TNA roster who was pissed the most, and he's talking about 3 years from now, he's going to retire because he's very pissed off, and that's MVP. He's the main one I saw pissed off. The main one.
Yeah, and I did see a little bit of EC3. I saw him tweeting the Young Bucks, I won't suck it, and he tweeted...
I think he was joking. I really think he was joking.
I know, but then he tweeted Veda Scott that, you think you're so cool now, when Veda Scott posted that picture of herself with the Ring of Honor logo and Destination America logo. So...
Yeah.
And then later on, he tweeted back to her something like, welcome to the family or something, after Dixie Carter tweeted about Ring of Honor, welcome Ring of Honor to Destination America. Then you see James Starr tweeting Round X Round, like, welcome, all this are kicking their asses pretty much. So, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, and it's just, like I said, they
all I have
left
to say is this, guys.
In the dark. They left TNA talent in the dark. Nobody fucking knew this was happening. And this isn't something that kind of happens, out of nowhere. This has been in the works for months. Ring of Honor and Destination America have been talking for months now. And you leave your talent and your fans in the dark. That's not the way to do business. Not at all. Like I said, this company is a sinking ship. And, that's why I say I want to see it go away, because how much longer are we going to have to put up with this? How much longer is talent going to have to put up with not being paid? How much longer is talent going to have to be, put up with being left in the dark, and fans being left in the dark of what's happening? It just, I really think once September comes, I think it needs to end. Maybe stretch it out as much as you can, but I don't know how much longer they can.
Yeah, man. I just know it's going to be pretty fun for wrestling fans Wednesday, because, you got Lucha Underground. They've been on fire. They've been on fire on the El Rey Network. And now you got Ring of Honor making a debut next week. Who knows what episode they're going to show. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's Ring of Honor, and they have some of the best wrestlers in the world.
I think I read it was, I think they were going to show night 2 of Global Wars, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow. Are they really about to go in like that? They really about to go in like that?
That's what I saw. I don't think it's 100% yet. I think once, like...
It's going to be 3 of their best matches that night, so... But they're going in like that. All I have to say is, yep, and the wars began.
Yeah.
Plus you got NXT.
Yeah, but what I would like to see, I don't think Ring of Honor's going to do it right away, but I would like to see either Ring of Honor or Lucha Underground respond to their takeovers, episodes, like what you guys are going to do. The next takeover, let's just say the next takeover main event is going to be Kevin Owens against Samoa Joe.
I already have the date. For the next takeover.
Yeah, no, it's based on. Go ahead, name it.
Go ahead. It's actually in August. It's in August. It's around August 13th.
Yeah, give out the date. August 13th, right? So.
Yeah.
I don't think Ring of Honor is going to do it, but I wonder if Lucha Underground. Well, actually, you know what? Their Ultima Lucha is probably going to be at that same date as well. So, in the future, what is Lucha Underground and Ring of Honor going to respond with NXT TakeOver? Everybody's going to watch TakeOver. But then I want to see from them what they're going to do. Like, okay, if you're going to put Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens, watch this. AJ Styles versus whoever's the world champ. Let's just say Jake Briscoe. Champion versus champion. We got that. We need somebody to put balls against NXT. Somebody got to do that.
Oh, trust me, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's got to happen.
But,
it's just that I don't think Lucha is going to be that company. Excuse me, August 12th, by the way. Let me read. It's August 12th, guys.
Yeah, because I think that's the same date, because I was at the Lucha Underground taping of the season finale. I believe that's the date where they're going to put their show, the 2-hour special of Ultima Lucha. So you got to check that out there. I mean, it was great. It was a great show. I've been there. I mean, I was there. I mean, I recommend to check that out. But the whole thing, Ring of Honor, like I said, the reason why I don't think they're going to do it right now, because I don't feel like they have the resources to do that right now. But maybe if they renew their contract after the end of the year, then maybe they could do a show. You know? Another
thing, Oscar, I was going to say, I believe certain promotions have their loyal fans. Like, Lucha's has some loyal fans, and you know, Ring of Honor, they have their loyal fans, and I'm pretty sure they're hyped about them getting this TV deal, so they're going to watch Ring of Honor as much as they can. And also, you know, of course, the WWE, they have their diehards, and plus they have the network, too, so they can go back and watch it, too.
All right, well,
let
me ask you a question. Let's just say next episode, TakeOver main event's going to be Samoa Joe against...
I'm watching WWE TakeOver regardless, if I'm home.
Even if Ring of Honor come out with a crazy-ass card, you still watch TakeOver regardless.
I just DVR it.
All right. I'm just saying.
Yeah, see that's the thing, is now, because of the way the internet is, and now we have DVRs, it's that you're able to watch these different promotions at different times. You don't have to, wait a week for TV or something, or if you don't watch it on TV, you miss it. If people want to watch NXT, they watch NXT, but then they DVR Ring of Honor on Destination America, and they DVR Lucha Underground on the LA Network, and they watch those later. Or on the flip side, whatever the case may be. But I don't know. Speaking of Lucha Underground, I mean, last night's episode, I know you guys probably know about it, but last night's episode was fucking great. I mean, that Montez Phoenix death match, holy shit. I'm pretty sure Phoenix...
I heard good things about it. I plan on watching a lot of wrestling. Starting tonight, because I'm off work. So I gotta catch up a lot of shit.
Watch it. Last night's episode was great. It was another great episode.
I was there at that show, actually. I think the first Montez and Phoenix match was better, but this one was pretty good. I was there, actually. You can actually see me sitting on the bleachers. I saw myself like 10 times. So I was sitting in the bleacher on the camera side. So the camera's like pointing at me, so you could see me during the matches sitting down. But when I remember when me and Memphis chokeslammed through that the roof of that room right there. I was trying to sneak my head in there to see what's going on. I couldn't because it was too much in the middle, and plus there's security guards out there. They're fucking strict. So they were like telling me to back off. So yeah, I remember that. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna let you know, Tom. Keep an eye on Mil Muertes the next couple of weeks. Just keep an eye on them. This is a different Mil Muertes than you've seen before.
I always look forward to watching Lucha Underground. So.
Oh man, D-boy. Oh man.
We got some more news I wanted to go throw out there real quick. That we need to talk about before the show ends. But I just want to let everybody know, our buddy Seth Trollins, who writes for us, he just threw his payback review. He knows it's late. His payback review is out there, so go check it out on WrestlingHeads.com. But it's been a lot of things that have happened. Our boy Rusev is out with injury, and rumored to replace him is the man who I thought should have been in this match in the first place, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, you know what? I just saw that match between the two, Ryback and Rusev, in that SmackDown match. I just watched SmackDown, and I saw how he landed. What happened was he had Ryback on the rope, and Ryback did like a back body drop, and Rusev landed wrong, and that's how he fucked up the angle. When I first read that how he got injured, I was like, did he say he wrestled Ryback? Like, oh my God, Ryback injured another guy. But I don't blame Ryback for his injury. It's one of those type of things where, they probably went through it and said, all right, I'm a back body drop you outside the ring. So he back body dropped him, and Rusev just landed wrong, and see what happens. There you go. And it feels weird, he just wrestles barefoot, but there's a couple of guys that prefer barefoot, what Speedball Mike Bailey said when we had him last week. He preferred to wrestle barefoot, and when you do stuff like that, you're risky for an injury. And look what happened. Rusev got injured, and he looked like he ain't gonna be ready for Chambers. So yeah, that sucks.
Hey, I'm with Bray Wyatt in this match. I'm down to see him in the chamber than seeing him go against Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have Bray Wyatt in there. He would have been my pick, but I doubt he'll win it. It'd be nice to see him carry the Intercontinental title, but I doubt it.
Did you want to comment on that, Tom, by any chance, or because I was going to move on?
Yeah, it sucks. Just another bad thing that's happening to Rusev. He has been going downhill for a couple weeks now. He is losing everything that was about his character. Now he gets injured. So, we'll have to see what happens when he comes back. I don't know. It's going to be tough, though.
Yeah, speedy recovery, hopefully, for Rusev. We can see him back in the WWE ring. Real quick, just to let everybody know, NXT special reveal, like I said, August 12th. But I think there's also going to be, these are all the NXT showings, June 18th, 16th, and the 13th for all NXT showings, I believe, tapings. So those are the tapings I just named right now. But something about NXT that's been talked about in the backstage. The next NXT takeover, it's been talked about having NXT Divas main event, which I say this with proud and joy to say these girls are definitely putting women's wrestling back on the map, mainstream at least. Is Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. There's rumored to have a Divas main event at the next takeover. You guys' thoughts on that?
I guess it could work out. I mean, to be honest, they should do it maybe the takeover after this one because all these rumors about Ronda Rousey getting involved with WWE and women, I think it's best they do it after that, and then they show that main event, if anything. And another thing about WWE, they're also showing that, they're just education, maybe younger women that, women could be strong too, and send out positive for women in the future in case they want to be, involved of, acts like, how women in the past getting abused or whatever. WWE's trying to show up like education out there, saying, women are also strong in beliefs too. So that's a good thing, and and women could be tough like the men, and that's why you got the NXT talent there. So
and it's crazy. I was gonna say it's crazy because I believe when we were at the NXT show in the Bay Area, I believe Charlotte and Sasha main evented the show. Am I correct?
No, it was actually a Finn Balor and Adrian Neville.
I don't know. It felt like they were the main event because they did have probably the match of the night, hands down.
They had the match of the night, I'll tell you that. But, main event was Neville and Finn Balor. Which, it was like more of a duplicate than their takeover match they had a few months back. So, it's like we've seen this
crazy.
Before.
I was going to say it's crazy. I'm sorry about that. I was going to say it's crazy because Sasha and Charlotte, they have main evented some NXT house shows too. So it's like they've already been, praised by the backstage and fans already. So your thoughts, Tom?
I mean, it's going to be good, just for the fact about how much they're focusing on the women's division down in NXT. It's going to inspire more women that are coming into the WWE that they know that they're at least going to be treated properly down in NXT. As far as the main roster goes, that's another story, but, there have been...
I say it still in works.
Yeah, there has been rumors and reports going on that, Triple H and Stephanie have been trying to kind of like change what's been going on the main roster. So hopefully that happens within the near future, but it's not always guaranteed. But at least down in NXT, we know what the women's wrestling is going to be like. We know we're going to see all these women tear it up. And one of the other things is that I know a lot of people are kind of like, obviously the four women that you mentioned are kind of the cornerstone of what the women's division is in NXT right now. But then you look at Alexa Bliss, and she's getting better. And Dana Brooke, she has a long way to go, but I have no doubt that if Sarah Del Rey is training her, she'll be good in no time, just like Charlotte and Sasha Banks. She'll improve with time if she puts in the effort and the time like these women did. So it's it's great stuff because these women are going out there and they're basically doing what the indies has kind of been doing the last few years, and that's kind of showcasing the women and showing that, okay, they can put on just as good of a match against each other or against guys. I don't know how much intergender wrestling we'll see in WWE, probably none, but I don't think that's the point. It's just we're getting into a period where it's going to be about what they do in the ring and not what they look like. Of course, they're all good looking. I don't think we can deny that. I think every woman down in NXT is pretty damn good looking. But that's not what they're about. That's not the main focus. The thing that people talk about the most with them is that they go in the ring and they absolutely kill it each and every night.
Real quick, I have a question for both of you guys. Best in-ring worker in NXT? Women's. Men.
No. Is it men or is it women or is it both?
Just women.
Just women? Sasha Banks.
In the ring right now, I'll say, I think Sasha improved a lot, but I'll still give it to Charlotte right now.
I'm gonna go with Sasha. I'm gonna go with Sasha.
I think Sasha is Charlotte's great. There's no doubt that I can say that.
Same here. I just think she's kind of overhyped a little bit.
Yeah, I just feel like Sasha's getting on a whole nother level right now. And you know what? I can see that with Becky Lynch, too. Becky Lynch, on the last takeover and her match against Sasha, she absolutely went out there and killed it and proved herself. And she may be, within the next couple months or so, she may be called the best woman down in NXT because that's how competitive it's getting. And, you know, Bayley's really good. Bayley's, I'm not going to leave her out of this because she's really good. I just think with Bayley right now, you need to do something with her that kind of gets her back on track because it feels like she's kind of been losing a little bit of steam. You kind of need to get her back to where she once was. But once again, she's great. And, you know, Alexa Bliss is, like I said, she's been getting better. So
I can't give Alexa Bliss no love right now.
It's going to be crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar returning to the WWE. Dates have been revealed: June 22nd, July 6th, July 13th, and July 20th. And he will be appearing at Battleground. Could we see the Seth Rollins-Brock Lesnar match finally?
Yeah, but I was hoping SummerSlam, that would be it. But if you're going to put Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins in Battleground, what will you do at SummerSlam? You know, that's a question. I think that match should have been better yet set up for SummerSlam.
I have one word: Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to be
I have a feeling that Seth Rollins is going to face Brock Lesnar, say at Battleground, and they're going to go one-on-one. Brock wins the title. And then so they hype up the rematch.
I don't see Brock winning the belt. I don't see Brock winning the belt at all. Well, it could happen. That could happen.
I was just kind of trying to paint a scenario because I feel like at the end of the summer, Roman Reigns is going to somehow become champion. So I was kind of putting it into that.
He's winning Money in the Bank for sure.
Yeah. I don't know, because there's rumors going around about a Seth Rollins Triple H feud possibly happening.
I've heard that too, which would be
so
interesting.
That could be
that could help Seth get over too, like crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's already over, but it'll help him in a whole another level. I know our shows. We got a couple more minutes left. A few minutes. We have about I'd say 51 minutes. So we're good. We're good. We got 51 minutes, but those 51 minutes go fast. So
we got some time to talk about more things.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you know how time is. Time goes fast. But update on Samoa Joe's current WWE contract. So it's looking like he's still good to do indie shows until August. From report was put out there by the Wrestling Observer. So I know Oscar probably knows more on this. You want to talk more about it, Oscar?
Yes. According to his contract details, he's allowed to do indies until no more than August. So September he can't be doing indies. And also in his contract it says that they let him keep his name, but he will only keep the name until he gets to the main roster. So basically WWE has the rights to give him an exclusive deal, but I guess right now they'll put him on NXT, and then when he gets to the main roster they will change his name. So along he's in NXT he'll be Samoa Joe, but when he gets to the main roster it's going to be a new name. It just kind of reminds me back then when Colt Cabana was in the WWE. He had his name Colt Cabana until he got promoted to the main roster, and then he became Scotty Goldman. So that's where it's going. But yeah, well, it looks like until no more indies after August. So Bola could be the last time.
Yeah.
No, I'll give him a host of Bola.
From what it said, it said to August. It could be once August hits, he's done. It could be that too.
He's still booked for new Northeast Wrestling in August 3rd. I'm saying until August, that's it. But he can't take indies after September. So that's it. After August, that's it.
And also remember that it was, Dave Meltzer reported that in the deal with WWE, he can't appear on TV. I don't know if the contract sets up pay-per-views or not, but
did you notice that he's booked for Ring of Honor? Him and AJ Styles are going to tag up. I believe they're going against. Who are they going against? The Kingdom, maybe? No. Christopher Daniels and Cass. Christopher Daniels and Cass.
It was funny. Somebody looked at that. It's a house show. It's the TV taping right after Best in the World, and they're
TNA
like,
reunion.
"Hey, look, it's TNA." And look, it's TNA's roster right there. But going back to the whole thing is, now that Ring of Honor's on Destination America, there was talks that Dave Meltzer said that they can't show Samoa Joe matches on Ring of Honor TV. That what they need to do is only DVDs and video on demand. That's the only way that they can show Samoa Joe. So even though it's a TV taping, I don't know if they're going to be allowed to show Samoa Joe on Destination America or on Sinclair Broadcasting. So that's very interesting as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens with that one. It could be just one of those matches that whoever is in that city go check it out, and that's the only way they can see it. But that's happening for all those that did not know, those ROH fans. Seth Rollins actually was at a Wizard World questions and answer session, and then he was asked about was the curb stomp ban. He said yes and continued to say never, but you will see it again. So
it's really weird that they just banned it out of nowhere, but then he's kind of indicating that it could come back. Like, why was it banned in the first place? And
we already know because of the whole situation with all these wrestlers coming out of nowhere, suing the WWE with the concussion thing.
Well, that's stupid because never ever has a curb stomp made someone have a concussion. So that doesn't make any sense.
He said for now it's banned.
It's a shot. For right now, it's banned. Like when Seth Rollins answer, you never know, and you'll see it again. Probably meaning by it could happen again. Pretty much, you just probably don't know how to answer because right now it's dealing with a lawsuit, and so we just don't know if we'll ever see it again. Pretty much, but I don't know why he answered. You'll see it again. So.
And for now, he said he'll be using the pedigree. As we all know, he's been using the pedigree lately. So, another big rumor that has been posted today, and yes, our boy Dave Meltzer, the Meltzer Report, the Wrestling Observer, they posted that the WWE might be interested in signing the IWGP Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles. Now, let me say something real quick. I know it hasn't happened yet, but if this was to happen, the WWE would have the best roster in professional wrestling.
Yeah, possibly. If they sign AJ, that would be great. I mean, I kind of see him getting some kind of deal like Samoa Joe, but the only thing is that I doubt, AJ could work New Japan if they would get that type of deal. I could see him doing Ring of Honor and other indie shows, but then would they give him the same thing? Like when he makes the main roster, is he gonna change his name too? I mean, I guess so. I mean, I never thought we'll see AJ go to the WWE. We'll see, but I know we had this discussion last week about WWE. If TNA does go out of business and will WWE purchase their library, I mean, you can use Samoa and AJ, to help out with projects. There you go, And you also got R-Truth was in TNA at one point, and you got a couple guys there that wasn't
Christian.
TNA. Christian. I mean, you can help out and give you stories. Dusty Rhodes was there at one point. I think he was a backstage person there too. You got all these projects you could do and with TNA, and we'll see what happens.
But just look at all the guys. Never say never, because we never thought Samoa Joe was going. But if he was to get signed, just peep this out. Like, the fucking roster, you have AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, you have Adrian Neville, a.k.a. Pac, you have Seth Rollins. Like, I just named, like, straight elite guys right now. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor. Look at all these elite guys I'm naming. If he gets better and still wrestles, Daniel Bryan, like,
and
straight elite roster.
Don't forget
Dean
about
Ambrose.
the tryouts. Don't forget about the tryouts that are happening. I don't think it's this weekend. Either this weekend or next weekend. The tryout that's going on in the Performance Center. Names like Dick Busick, Drew Gulak, Chuck Taylor, and now Tommaso Ciampa being named as getting tryouts. All four of those guys deserve it. All four. I mean, just sign all four of those guys. I think, and what WWE needs and I think what NXT really needs, because there's so much serious stuff going on, they need a Chuck Taylor. Because the guy can go into the ring, but we know how funny he can be with the crowd, and, there's kids that sit in the front row. He can go back to his scaring the kids gimmick. Chuck Taylor's a guy that deserves to be signed. I mean, the guy's been sitting on the indies for so long, and he has so much charisma. He's so funny. So, sign all of them. But going back to the AJ Styles thing, it's going to be tough because AJ Styles, denied a WWE contract once before because it wasn't what he wanted. So even if they're going to bring him in like a Samoa Joe deal, they're probably going to have to pay up because he's, probably one of the highest paid guys going around right now on the independent scene. He's making a shitload in Japan. He's one of the highest, he's one of the highest rated guys as far as pay goes for the indie scene. It's like a couple thousand just to bring him in. So it'll be tough, and I don't know how they would bring him in. And even if they could bring him in, they have to make him look like what they did with Samoa Joe. They have to make him look unbeatable. So it's tough. It's tough.
You know what? I don't know why. I just thought about this right now. But they're to sign him, he could be the guy that attacked Hideo Itami. Maybe. I don't know. Over here.
But we were talking about TNA and Ring of Honor earlier, and now we're getting on the subject of all these guys, coming into WWE and what Samoa Joe is doing. I'm really curious to know what the relationship is between WWE and Ring of Honor. Like what?
Oh, it's got to be good. That relationship's been good for a long time.
Well, yeah, because Ring of Honor has become like the theater system to get guys to WWE, and people have realized that. But I wonder now, because of what Samoa Joe's doing, are we going to get something a step further? Are we going to, kind of like what they did with ECW back in the day, where ECW guys would come on to Raw and, get the exposure, and then they would send guys to ECW. I know they sent, like, Jerry Lawler and Jim Cornette once. So I wonder if, like, for a one-time thing to kind of help out Ring of Honor, if, Ring of Honor is running a show, all of a sudden the lights go out, they pop back on, and the WWE guy is, in the ring. I don't know if that'll happen, but it's a possibility.
I think, honestly, Tom, I think a dream right there, bro.
Well, right now I could say that I believe WWE and Ring of Honor's relationship are kind of like how WWE and ECW did back in the day. But as of, sharing rosters, or borrowing roster talent, I don't think so. Because, when Vince McMahon did it back in the 90s, not only he tried to help ECW promote their first pay-per-view, but he was hoping maybe these guys would come in WWE one day. And not only that, remember, WCW was really starting to, breathe down their neck coming down. I think the only way if that ever happened, if there was another rival company going against WWE, and then if WWE could do something like, okay, if you guys going to do something like, try to put us out of business, okay, we might do a show. Maybe we'll tease the audience. We'll have a WWE versus Ring of Honor show or some bullshit. But I don't see that happening with the WWE and Ring of Honor. Like,
well, I don't think they would do a full out like WWE versus Ring of Honor show. I'm saying like on a house show, say on a house show where they know they're not going to be taping it for TV. They send a WWE guy just to help boost attendance sales and boost, ticket sales and DVD sales and all that stuff. It was just kind of like a thought. I don't think it's going to happen. It was just kind of a thought thrown out there.
I would like to see if Ring of Honor could borrow a talent, like just to come out and put the company over, like maybe a Daniel Bryan. He had a lot of history there, and he could come out and just talk and make a little speech, just like how WWE and TNA made some kind of deal when TNA allowed Ric Flair to go in the WWE Hall of Fame, but they want somebody to come on their show, and they brought in Christian. So if they could do something like that, that'd be cool. They could bring in another, like I said, bring in an old Ring of Honor guy, maybe a Seth Rollins as well, just to come out, not to wrestle, but do a little speech or something. That'd be nice.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you guys. I don't see that happening. I think you guys are dreaming just a little bit.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it'll be nice, but I doubt it'll ever happen.
Yeah. Real quick, though, let's take another break, and we'll be near on closing the show. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon, this is England's Zack Sabre Jr., and when I'm not drinking tea and hanging out with the Queen, I am always listening to Wrestlingheads Radio. Cheerio.
Hello, my friends. This is Matt Seidel, former WWE Tag Team Champion, Slammy Award winner Evan Bourne. I just want to say you're listening to the Weekly Wrestling Podcast. Enjoy it!
What up, Bob?
This is King Ricochet, and you're listening to Wrestlingheads Radio.
Yeah.
Kids, you've been fucking up all day today. What is wrong with you?
Hey, they're right next to each other. What can I say?
No,
what can I say?
that was done on purpose because we got to promote Weekly Wrestling Podcast. Our good friends over there spreading the great word of indie wrestling. So that was done on purpose.
Kids, I know you live upstairs in an apartment. Please don't go downstairs. I got a feeling you're gonna slip and fall down. Please, just stay in your bed all day. Don't go
so you want to talk? So you want to talk shit?
Huh?
You want to talk shit, huh?
No, I'm saying you seem like you're having a bad day today. Just relax. Just don't.
I'm having an awesome day. I'm having an awesome day. We can't play a fucking plug for our buddies down at WWP.
Yeah. Speaking of, where's Mr. Matthew Grant? He disappeared.
So I think Matt he had a show earlier. He interviewed Michael Tarver from the Nexus.
That's good. But usually he's on here. I wanted to get his whole take on this whole TNA ROH thing, but he's nowhere to be found.
I have some news I want to throw out there, and it's got me saying this.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack,
Whack.
And the news is, ladies and gentlemen, for all those wrestling fans out there and those PWG fans, those CZW fans, get your pens and papers down, your phones, your smartphones, and I want you to write this in your phone. Because June 8th, ladies and gentlemen, 11:30 East Coast time here on WH Radio, former PWG Tag Team Champ and one half of the Beaver Boys, John Silver, will be on here on Wrestling Heads Radio. So that should be fun.
Yes, and hopefully when we get him on next week, we hear that he's going tough enough. So we'll see. We're also working on right now. Hopefully we'll get this person on Monday, but follow us on Twitter. You know, like I said, working on some other guests right now. So
I kind of want to get that person's name out because I know it's gonna happen. Because this guy's one of the coolest dudes ever. One of the coolest dudes ever that I've met, and he's not even a wrestler, but he's definitely known in the world of professional wrestling. We're working on a date right now with Larry Legend to come on here to talk about Ring of Honor's deal with Destination America. If you don't know who Larry Legend is, you need to sit in the corner. Because this man is, he's like, who is he like?
Who is he like?
I'm trying to give for the fans that don't know who he is, give a example.
He's something like you've never seen before. Put it that way.
Definitely.
He is I mean, when I first saw the Beaver Boys, when I saw him, I was like, oh, okay, he's a little smaller guy. He's maybe going to be doing some high flying, and he's picking guys up. Like
I wasn't talking about John Silver. I was talking about Larry Legend.
Oh, Larry Legend. You could call him kind of like, it's tough because Larry Legend, he's like the hype man, but he does a lot of other stuff as well. It's really
he works
tough.
behind the scenes in ROH.
Yeah, he does, and he does a lot of, like I said, he does a lot of hyping. It's tough. Larry Legend's another guy where he's just like his own character. He's his own, crazy self. You can't really compare either Larry Legend or John Silver to anybody because they're just different. There's nothing really like them.
But yeah, that's going down. Larry Legend. I want you guys to.
I know.
Everybody stay tuned on our Twitter, and we'll give you the date when Larry's going to be on the show. But like I said, one half of the Beaver Boys, probably one of the strongest guys in professional wrestling, June 8th, John Silver.
No, don't. Listen, Brian Cage might be listening to this. You don't want to disrespect the man.
I'm pretty sure Brian Cage saw John Silver lift who I know he lifted one of the biggest guys I've seen in a match he was in at DDT4. I want to say it was one half of the Monster Mafia members, Ethan Page, like how he just held him in the air for like a good minute. But John Silver should be fine.
See, and we talked about this on Monday. That DDT4 trailer needs to come out ASAP, right now. Right now, as we speak, it needs to come out.
Speaking of PWG, tickets go on sale the 4th, by the way. We'll be there, holding it down for WH Radio.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that because when they first announced the show, they just announced it as Rock and Shock the Nation, but now it's a Mystery Vortex. So that's
Mystery Vortex. It's called. They changed it to Mystery Vortex Rock and Shock. Rock and Shock the Nation. So
that's going to make things a lot more like interesting. Like, I don't know. And then the next month,
I already know Ricochet's not going to be there because Ricochet told me he would not be at the next show. So
yeah. But then the next show after that is the anniversary show, and then we got Bola.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's close out the show, guys, because it's about that time we close out the show. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we want to thank JT Dunn for taking his time out, having a fun interview with us. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at WrestlingHeads. We are on ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads, YouTube.com/WrestlingHeads, blogtalkradio.com/Elite Podcast Network. Listen to all of our shows, all of our past interviews, and also listen to the rest of the team's shows. Also, I'm on Twitter at WHSkits. You can follow me there. I'm always talking, shooting the shit about wrestling, so find me on there. What else do we have that I have not plugged? I think this is about it for me. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to the rest of the team. Gentlemen, one more thing. Shout out to Bruce for showing up at PWG. Bruce said he was supposed to be a part of today's show, and where is he at? I have no idea. But go ahead, gentlemen.
All right, you can follow me at Sinister632 on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll probably go back and Vine. Fuck it.
Vine is dead, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember you used to love it all the time.
It used to be fun.
And yeah, just check out WrestlingHeads.com for news. Okay, I'll probably do my classic match of the week this week. I think I will do it this week. There's no PWG show or anything, so yeah. All right, well, yeah, just check out WrestlingHeads.com.
Oh shit! One more thing you forgot to mention. This Saturday, all women's show.
Yeah, we're gonna be there. Me and Skits are gonna be there at all women's show, AWS Ladies Night. Yeah,
Nicola Savoy's gonna be there.
Nicola Savoy, Hudson Envy, and Cheerleader Minister are gonna have a match. It's gonna be a pinfall count anywhere match. So like these two tough chicks to beat the shit out of each other. Not only that, you have ex-diva Melina. She's gonna be there. Nicole, Reyes will be there. Brittany Wonder, list going on. They're all going to be there. If you're out from LA, just go ahead down Southgate and check out this women's show. Support these women. And
Laura James going to be there.
Yeah, you're Laura James. Yeah,
that's my buddy.
yeah. You can finally go see her wrestle the first time there. And yeah, check it out. Me and Skits are going to be there. There'll be an after party. Hope Skits does some karaoke afterwards. And
I don't know about that.
Just do it, damn it. All right, well,
we'll definitely see your boy Deshaun Two Cents on there getting in.
Oh man.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yep, you can follow me on Twitter at to tweet me. That's my only social media account, so that's where I'm talking wrestling 100% of the time. Like Skid said earlier, make sure you check out the rest of the Elite Podcast Network's family. Indie Power Rankings had 2 great shows this week. Make sure you check that out. Of course, our boy Matthew Grant had the pleasure of interviewing Michael Tarver, so make sure you check that out as well. Probably a fun interview. Uncle Mike and Tom show, of course, this week. Eyes on the Ring is going to be live Sunday, right after Elimination Chamber. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you guys also check out smartmarkvideo.com because the people over at Alpha One Wrestling just released a Mortal Kombat 3, which was their latest show.
Shout out to Alpha One.
Yeah. And from what I've heard, it was a great show, so make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out everything on smartmarkradio.com. Doing a lot of great stuff as well. Make sure you follow, like we said earlier, the Weekly Wrestling Podcast on Twitter as
AAW
well.
On Demand is coming too. Let's not forget that.
Oh, yeah. Another on-demand service, AAW On Demand, is coming. So now AAW, AIW, and Smash all have on-demand services. So a lot of great indie wrestling.
Beyond better be next.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? It's getting crazy. And I will say, this is indefinite, but because you guys mentioned you're going to AWS this weekend, I may, perhaps, it depends on my schedule and what's going on. It's going day by day. Maybe going down to Evolve this weekend and checking out.
Matt Grant's going?
Yeah, that's what I heard. So I'm trying to get down to either the Saturday show or the Sunday show. Like I said, it just depends on my schedule.
Matt's gonna be at the Sunday show, so
yeah.
If anything, you'll see him at the Sunday show. Jenny Gargano versus Ethan Page.
Yeah, should be two great Evolve shows. Both of them are going to be available live on iPay-per-view at wwnlive.com. So make sure you check that out as well. But yeah, I mean, I also got requests because obviously we know someone is going to Beyond Wrestling. People have been telling me to go to Beyond this weekend, and there's Evolve this weekend, and I'm like, I don't even know if I can go to either. Just swing me be. But yeah, a lot of great wrestling going on this weekend. Make sure you go out, and if it's near your area, check it out, support it. If you can't go out, make sure you support it online any way you can. Pro Wrestling Tees, Smart Mark Video, High Spots, whatever the case may be.
Just support indie wrestling, damn it. Support every fucking podcast there is. Support us. We just do this because we love professional wrestling. And yeah, man. Once again, shout out to everybody, and we'll be back next Monday.
Yeah, and by the way things are going, I can't guarantee anything, but the way things are going, it looks like Wrestling Heads could get a show on Destination America because they're giving it to everybody. Maybe we'll take TNA's time slot.
Fuck it.
Let's go on.
Let's go on.
We'll take Fridays.
Or fucking WWE Network. Fuck it.
Until then, until next Monday, we're outro. Stay tuned on our Twitter, people. Peace.
Peace.